will you again, will you again grow, will you again go back to become a baby?
No.
So that is why we are saying biological changes are irreversible. That is one of the characteristics. Thank you. Thank you. Let me pick someone else also to give us another point. That point is very correct. Let me pick another person. I call Juma. Can you also give us another one? I call Juma, another characteristic. We are waiting for a call Juma, yes.
They are on their own.
They are?
They occur on their own.
They occur on their own.
They occur on their own.
Okay. Because we said they are also natural biological changes. These changes take place on their own. Okay. So when we look at them, you study these examples when we talk about growth. When you talk about from childhood to adulthood, look at that, study them, molting. So what does it mean? So some of this, when you understand it, will give you the characteristics. Number one, you can even say, small one change size and become big. You get, I was small, now I'm a big man, I'm a big person now. So that's a change that has taken place in me. That is what they are calling development, the growth. So the young one, the small one grow big. That is one. That is one of the characteristics we can name. So you can say they are irreversible. That is one. Two, you can say small one change size and become big. Just like now, your size is not the same size as you were young. You get? So that is what we are saying. As you were born, you cannot be of the same size now. So that change has taken place in you because you are a living thing. Because these biological changes take place in living things. Three, because they have named only two, but we can give more. Also, you can say young one grow mature and become old. So you were 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you may be 10 years, you may be 11 years, because somebody who is in P6 should be at least 12 years and above. So that's why they are saying young one grow mature and become old. With the time, with God, by God grace, we shall be judged. We shall be 50, 60 years, 70 years, just like our elder. So, and they were young like us, but that change has taken place in them. They have grown, they have become mature, and now they are old. Those are some of the characteristics of biological changes that we have. Then there is also this question that has come, question number 6. I want to get someone to read for us number 6. Okay, I want to get someone. Caleb, yes. Caleb cannot hear us because he has not. Let's go to Jerusalem. Yes, Jerusalem, can you read number 6?
Why is rusting regarded as a chemical change?
Why is rusting regarded as a chemical change? So that means rusting is an example of a chemical change. Now, these questions, when you are answering, what comes in your mind? What answer do you give here? Caleb, are you still there? Okay, Caleb has just read the question, but we can pick someone else to answer that question. Who can answer for us that question? Because this question, they can ask you, why is germination regarded as a biological change? So you can talk about some of the characteristics. In this answer, you can give some of the characteristics of a biological change. You get it? Or even the meaning. So why is rusting regarded as a chemical change? Can we hear from Daniel? Yes, Daniel, can you give us the answer for that?
It is irreversible.
It is because rusting is irreversible. So once rusting takes place, that once it has taken place, it cannot go back to its original state. Maybe we can even ask someone to define for us what is rusting. What do we mean when we talk about rusting? Daniel, do you want to give us that also? What it means by rusting, Daniel? Or we can
Yes.
pick, okay, what is rusting?
Rusting is the condition when metallic objects turn reddish brown.
Condition when metallic object turn reddish brown. Thank you. Yes, you have a very good idea there. Messi, how about you? How can you define rusting? Is it like Daniel? Messi? My good footballer, please. Yes, Messi. Are you able to give us that answer?
Yes.
Okay. What is your answer?
The same.
It's the same. You repeat what he has said if it is the same. Yes? Messi, are you able to repeat what he has said if it is the same? Okay, Messi is saying it is the same, but we can also pick another person. Daniel, I think it's okay. You can unmute. Let's pick Gloria or Dorcas. Gloria or Dorcas, what is rusting?
Rusting is the condition where a metallic object forms a reddish brownish color.
Very good. So when we talk about rusting, members, when we talk about rusting, we are saying this is a chemical reaction. Listen carefully. This is what we have defined already. That rusting is the chemical reaction that turns metals into reddish brown color. Rusting is I think I need to write for you on the, let me try to write for you, though it is not the answer for this, but it is very important for you to notice it, because they can ask you next time. So here I'm just trying to answer what I have asked you what rusting is. So you can define rusting as, rusting is the chemical reactions that turns metals into reddish brown color in the present, because rusting takes place in the presence of oxygen and moisture. So this is what it means by rusting, please. So next time when I ask you this question, you should be able to define what rusting is. So this is a chemical change. That is why they are saying, why is rusting regarded as a chemical change? So once the metal turns into reddish brown color, it is very difficult. That metal cannot go back to its original state, its original color. That's why the boy answered that rusting is irreversible. It cannot be turned back. So once the metal turns into reddish brown color. So members, this is what it means by rusting. That rusting is the chemical reaction that turns metals into reddish brown color in the presence of oxygen and moisture. So that means for rusting to take place, there must be presence of oxygen and there must be presence of moisture. So that is how you can define rusting. But otherwise, our answer is rusting is irreversible. Are we together? Yes. So this is the answer that I expected you to put for that number 6. So let's go to number 7. I think we are moving slowly. We need to move a bit faster, because after this, we shall just plan to begin our lesson. So let's go to number next. Okay. Ntale, can you read for us? Natalia, can you read for us that number? Natalia?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, read the number and answer at least one from it, yes?
Give any 2 characteristics of chemical change.
Good. Can you give us one? Are you able to give one?
They are not reversible.
Yes, they are not.
They are not
reversible.
reversible.
Very good. That is correct. They are not reversible. Okay, thank you. They are not reversible. Or you can say they are irreversible. If you don't want to be long, you can say chemical changes are irreversible. So meaning that all these changes that are called chemical changes are irreversible. They cannot be changed back. For example, we talked about rusting. We talked about burning of wood into ash. So once you burn, like if you burn charcoal, can it be turned back to the same tree or the same log? Or once you use firewood to cook, once it burns, it will not be turned back to firewood. So that's why they are saying they are irreversible. Very good, my friend there. Okay, can we also hear from other people apart from irreversible? Do we still have other answers? Here they have asked for 2. Can we also give other answers? Yes, Agwang and Vincent, can you give us one? Vincent and Agwang. Are you able to give us another characteristic apart from irreversible? Okay, so members, I think let me take you through, because this is what we have already learned. So we can say the process is irreversible. We have already explained the word irreversible very many times. 2, a new substance is formed. This is also very important, because first of all, when you are explaining the meaning of a chemical change, you will say these are changes in which a new substance is formed from the old one. If they ask you what are chemical changes, you are going to say chemical changes, these are changes in which a new substance is formed from the old one. Take for example, you see, when metallic object turns into reddish brown, meaning that there is a new substance which is formed. That metallic substance becomes reddish brown. You get it? How about when we talk about burning? When you burn firewood, when you burn like a wood into ash, that means there will be a new substance formed, which we are calling it ash. So this is what we are saying, a new substance is formed in the chemical changes. I expected that answer from you. There is change in weight, size, and amount of an object. This is very true. This is very true. When you burn, I'm giving you an example in burning, I'm dwelling there because it is something which you are doing it at home every day. You can pick charcoal and you start cooking. You fill it into your charcoal stove, it will be full. But once you start cooking, that charcoal will turn into ash. Will it still be the same weight? Will it still have the same size, or the amount of object will still be the same? No. So that's why they are saying here there is change in weight, size, and amount of object. Very good. And last but not least, you can also say heat or light is either given out. Heat or light is either given out. So those are some of the characteristics of chemical changes. Now they had asked for only 2. So when you write any of those 2, your answer becomes correct. Let's go to Mark. Mark, can you get ready to answer for us number 8? Some of you already having these questions. You are just trying to follow. Mark? Okay, Mark, that is number 8. Mark, please, can you read number 8? So Mark has disappeared. We can go and get someone else. Please don't fear to read this. You read. If you can't answer, we can pick other people to read. Can we get from Johnson?
Yes, teacher.
Can you read that question and answer for us what you wrote?
State any 2 dangers of rusting.
Very good. Can you give us one?
It weakens metals.
Okay, very good. So when you look at rusting, once it takes place in your metal, it weakens it. Very good. Do you want to give another one?
Yes.
Okay, give.
It changes the color of metals to reddish brown.
It changes the color. So once it changes, what happens? How dangerous is it when it changes it? That's what they're asking.
Yes.
Yes. You see, it's like you are repeating the question. They would have asked you, what are the dangers of metal changing into reddish brown color? The first answer. Give another answer.
It makes cutting metals blunt.
Very good. It makes metal blunt. Very good. Very good. For example, knives, hoes, pangas, if you are using them and you don't keep them well, and once rusting takes place in them, they will be blunt. Blunt here means they are not going to be sharp enough to do the work that you want to use it for. Are you getting that? Okay. So members, you should be very careful when you are answering questions in science, because sometimes you can repeat the questions. So here, you know, rusting is when an object turns into reddish brown, metallic object turns into reddish brown. So what's the danger of metallic objects changing into reddish brown color? So the danger is that, one, like our friend has said, it weakens that metal. That metals become very weak. If you see some of them can even get broken. You can bear me witness. Some of you have been at my school where I teach. There was a time where a certain metallic object was rusted, and then it had to go off from where it was. So it weakens the metal, and it can easily get broken. You may not use a lot of energy to break a metallic object that has rusted. So 2, you can also say it makes tools blunt. Here we are talking about metals. It's not different from what you have said. It makes tools blunt. It makes metals blunt. For example, the oars, the knives, the pangas, you can name them. So once rusting takes place in them, they are going to be blunt. So that is, those are some of the dangers of rusting. Then the next question was asking you to give ways how you can avoid rusting. Give 2 ways of avoiding rusting. How do we avoid rusting? How can we control our metals from rusting? Let's hear from Michael. Yes, Michael.
By painting metals.
Very good. By painting metals. So once you paint it properly, it will not be rusted. Good. Can you give us another one, Michael?
By using iron stainless steel.
Okay. Okay. So thank you so much. You have at least given 2, and we can also hear from other from other members, because there are so many other ways how you can avoid rusting, apart from only using stainless steel, apart from only using, painting the metals. There are so many other ways that we can use. Okay, can we hear also from Christian, the Tristan? My Tristan, please. Okay, some of you, I think you connect and then you leave you leave your gadget there to learn by itself. But we can hear from Sarah. Sarah, please, can you give us other ways how we can avoid rusting? So those are some of the ways. We can say by oiling, you can say by galvanizing the metals. You can talk of keeping metallic tools in a dry place, because we said it takes place in the presence of moisture and oxygen. So, but once you keep your metallic tools in a dry place, there'll be nothing happening to it, because there'll be no presence of what? Of moisture. Though oxygen may be there, but if there is no moisture, then your thing will be safe. Then you can also talk of painting, as our friend has said. So those are some of the ways how we can avoid rusting. So let's go to number 10. Number 10 is very simple, and we are not going to spend so much time there. Can we hear from Caro? Caro, can you read number 10 and answer it? Caro? Yes, Caro.
Environment are things surrounding us.
Environment is our surrounding. You can even just simply define it like that. Oh, environment, these are things around us. These are things that surround us. So that's what it means by environment. This was a very simple question that most of you must have passed it. So it was just like a free marks, because you have been defining environments right away from P1. So when we talk about environment, is things around us or is our surrounding. That is what it means by environment. Thank you. Now, we talked about, they might have not asked in this question, but there are so many things they can ask you, the component of the environment. When we talk about component, we mean things that make up the environment. Yes, please. Do you want to give us component of the environment, Carol?
Yes.
But the question is there. That question is there. Let me put it and you give.
Okay.
Okay, it's there. You can give.
People.
Okay. Now, I prefer, Carol, first listen before you go ahead. Eh? So if you don't want to, if you don't want to confuse yourself, you can name, because sometimes you will name people, you are going to name animals, or you are going to name birds, but all these are under one group. So what you can do, if you are giving component of the environment, you can say animals. Carol, are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, you can say animals instead of being specific that people. Because some of you, when you say people, you will again say birds, you will again say animals, and yet these are grouped under one component. So we have animals. You can continue.
Birds.
That's what I'm saying. If you now say animals, now you cannot repeat yourself by saying birds, because these birds are going to fall under animals. Even as people, we are going also to fall under animals. So I said the best answer is animals.
Animals.
Then we go to
Number 12.
Oh, we go to number 12. Yet they have asked for 2. Can you add another one?
Right. Say what you wrote.
Teacher, I wrote people and animals.
Those are one answer. If I gave you 2, then that's oversight. But that one should be one answer.
Okay.
So you can talk about, Carol, you can talk about soil or land. These are things that surround us, isn't it? You get it,
Yes.
Carol? You can also talk about animals, plants, water, and air. These are some of the components of the environment. Now,
Yes.
most of you will say houses. When you talk about houses, they are going to come out of these plants that we are talking about. Houses will come from plants, will come from soil, because we are going to build the house using soil, and some of them we are going to use plants. So when we are talking about plants, we are meaning trees, all these plants, you can name them. So these are the answers that you are supposed to give if they asked you for component of the environment. Isn't it, Carol?
Yes.
Okay, you can add on this. You
Yes.
can let plants, animals and people, that's one answer. Then you can name soil or land. Then there you cannot say soil and then again you say land. It's almost the same. So that is how you are supposed to answer that question. So we can
Thank
go
you.
to number, we can go to number 13 as Carol has said, but I think I have to pick someone else. Okay. Murunji. That's how you have written your name. Can you come on?
Teacher.
Take us through number 12. Can you read number 12?
Mention two characteristics of physical changes.
Okay, mention two characteristics of physical changes. Can you give us one?
They can be reversed.
They can be reversed. Yes, physical changes are reversible. Okay, I think that's enough for you because you read the question and at least you have given us one answer. Can we also ask from your friend? Okay, let's also hear from Williams. Williams, Mirunja said that they are reversible. Reversible means once they take place, they can be changed back. That is the meaning of a reversible. So can you give another one, Williams? Yes, Williams. Okay, William. So when we talk about characteristics of, yes, please. You are Williams, eh? But that's how your name is. Oh, don't use your dad's name when you are here, because we shall be calling you and sometimes it's not good. So we have one, our friend said it is reversible. That means cannot be changed back. Two, no new substance is formed. No new substance is formed. Whereas in the chemical changes, new substance is formed. But in the physical changes, no new substance is formed. Also, it almost like the opposite of chemical changes, the characteristics. There we said that there is change in weight, size, and amount of object. But in the physical changes, there is no change in weight, no change in size and quantity. It remains the same. Then also we have no heat or light is given out or absorbed. You see, that's why I was like, these are almost the opposites of the other one. So these are some of the characteristics of physical changes that we have. So when we give examples of physical changes, we have things like evaporation, things like melting, freezing, condensation. Those are some of the examples of physical changes that we have. So, and there are very many. Somebody can also talk about stretching of a rubber band. You can talk about expansion, deposition. These are physical changes. So when these changes are taking place, there is no new substance formed. The change can even be reversed, and there is no change in size, weight and quantity. So members, these are the answers that I expected you to put there. Now this question comes in. These questions comes in that give the difference between physical changes and chemical changes. What are the difference? What's the difference between? Chosen, can you give us the answer for that? Chosen, can you read number 13?
What is the question?
It is there, number 13, if you are able to see it on your screen. Yes.
Chemical changes.
Yes, please.
Chemical changes are changes which cannot reversible. These are changes which cannot be reversible. While physical changes are changes which can be reversible.
Okay, very good. That answer is correct. So when you look at this, you can pick the difference from their characteristics. One, you can say physical changes are reversible while chemical changes are irreversible. That is one difference that you can give. Even another difference you can give is that physical changes, there is no new substance formed, while in chemical changes, new substance is formed. So there are so many differences that you can give, but in this case, they have only asked you to give one. So you can compare their characteristics as you are giving the differences. So you can look at the one of chemical change. We said there is change in weight, size, and amount of object. While in physical changes, there is no change in weight, size, and quantity. So those are some of the characteristics. I mean, you pick your answer from the characteristics, or even you can pick your answer from the meaning of physical change and the meaning of chemical change. The meaning of physical change is that you can say physical change, there is no new substance, while in chemical change, a new substance is formed. So you can easily give the difference for number 13. So that is how you can answer that question. Just like I said, that physical change is reversible, while chemical change is irreversible. So it means that when physical change takes place, they can be reversed, they can be changed back. For example, when water turns into solid, that solid can also turn into liquid or water. You get it? So that means the process is reversible. But when burning takes place, it cannot be reversed. When rusting takes place, it cannot be reversed. Fermentation, and so on and so on. So let's go to number, okay, our time is running. Where we are going to stop, we shall continue from there if we get another time. So we have number 14 here. Okay, can someone read number 14 and give the answer? Bulenga, please, can you read and give the answer, Bulenga?
State 2 examples of physical changes.
Okay, can you state those two examples? Bulenga, are you able to give us, or we can get from Faith?
Excuse me, I don't know them.
Okay, they are going to, okay, let's try to find someone to give us so that you can be able to learn. Faith, can you give us examples of physical changes, Faith?
Heal.
Yes, Faith.
Heal.
Heal, I'm not hearing what you're saying.
Heal.
Okay, but we can't hear you properly. But I think also the answer you are giving may not be correct according to the way I'm hearing you saying it. Okay, I wish you can. Okay, so let's try to find out examples, members. These are some of the things that we have already looked at, and I appreciate some of you who managed to pass this number, but I know there are people who want to give us the answers. Okay, there are so many hands up. We have Jasmine. Jasmine, can you answer for us number 14? Jasmine?
Condensation.
Very good. We have condensation. You can continue. Okay, they have asked for two. So we have condensation, as he has said. We have evaporation. And then we also have freezing, melting. So these are some of the examples of physical changes. But other examples also, we said, other examples apart from condensation, apart from freezing, you can also talk about stretching of a rubber band. When you stretch a rubber band, that is a physical change. But once you leave it, it will go back to its original state. You can talk about the dissolving of a solute into a solvent. For example, when you mix salt in water, it will dissolve. But again, when you go and put that water into, on fire, and you heat it with your, you put water in the saucepan, you go and heat it to dryness. You make that water to dry, your salt will come back. So those are some of the physical changes that we have. Then number 15, they are asking, how do we call the change of state from liquid to gas? Okay, how do we call the change of liquid, the change of state from liquid to gas? How do we call that change? Okay, Rihanna? Yes, Rihanna? How do we call that change? What's the answer for number 15? Abiba, you prayed for us, at least also you have to give us. Abiba? Okay, so if you know the meaning of this, condensation, what does it mean? Evaporation, what does it mean? Freezing, what does it mean? So it will be very easy for you to answer question 15. For example, when we talk about condensation, condensation is the change of gas to liquid. For example, water vapor change to water when it condensed. That is condensation, the change of gas to liquid. 2, if I define for you evaporation, evaporation is the physical change of liquid into gas. Evaporation, the physical change of liquid into gas. If I talk about freezing, freezing, this is the change of liquid to solid, which I asked you a certain question down there. That process to take place, you have to put that water into what we call a refrigerator, which most of you are having, and you call them in short form that fridge. So that is, so here, therefore, the answer for this is going to be evaporation. Okay. Then we have number 16, members. Our time has gone, but I think we are going to continue from number 16 next time. From number 17 when we meet. So here they are asking, what is melting? So that melting is the process by which solid changes to liquid when heated. So this is where solid state change into liquid state. That is what we call melting. So members, these are some of the answers, and some of you got 100%, by the way. And I appreciate those who got 100%. That was very, very good. That was very, very good for you. For those who got 100%. So members, I think let's stop here. Our question goes up to number 20, up to number 27, but at least we have managed to do up to number 16. Now these corrections, you are going to find them in your Google Classroom. I'm going to make sure I put these answers with these questions into the Google Classroom. So once you go there, you will be able to copy these questions with the answer, or you will be able to do corrections. Otherwise, thank you so much. Let's ask Dorcas or Gloria to close for us with the prayers. Dorcas or Gloria, can you give us a closing prayer and we end there?
Okay.
Hey, Dorcas, what are you on?
Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is heaven. Give us our daily food. Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen. Almighty God, we thank you for this wonderful day that we've had. We thank you for everything that you have provided to us, Father. Almighty God, as we are closing this lesson,
Okay, I think Dorcas, thank you. We can say amen, though we have not heard you the last prayers of network. I think that's network. Thank you, members.
to guide us in everything that we'll do next, except that us in our amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. So members, I think we can end there. You can just say bye-bye to your friends.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.